Hey everybody, it's Jerry from the Military Collectible Shop, and this is another edition of What's New at the Military Collectible Shop. So, this has been another busy week, a lot of stuff coming in, which is great. Always appreciate seeing new stuff. Hope you do too. Got a smattering of all kinds of stuff this week. So, I'm going to start with some often overlooked little things. These are kind of cool. These are stereo optic cards, and these are both the early battleships from around the turn of the century. And the stereo optic cards was kind of it was early 3D technology. Basically, they used cameras with two different lenses offset just a little bit, took two completely, well, similar but completely different pictures that when viewed through a stereo optic or viewer, gave you the illusion of a 3D image. Okay, but those are cool. And there's a lot of military-themed ones: Spanish-American War, the Great Fleet, the Boer Wars, all that stuff that was kind of happening around the turn of the century was well documented. Also picked up in a completely different era, an early green beret with the early 5th group insignia. Later on, the 5th group flash was changed to incorporate the flag of South Vietnam that we're all familiar with, and then later they changed back to the black, and then they changed back to the Vietnam striped 5th group flash. But this is a nice early Bancroft one. Still has the lining, but very cool. A neat piece to find. This is neat. This is a World War II German tropical, or as we like to say, Africa Corps belt rig. So it's got a holster, mag pouch, and a bayonet, as came back with it, and the nice buckle with the tropical webbing tab. So tropical stuff is hard to find. It's one of the things I do collect myself, but it just doesn't turn up much. You know, there's just not a lot of it out there. So anytime you can find something like this and get it in a kind of a complete rig is really, really unusual. So I was excited to get that. Also from that same source, we picked up a German Balkan Cross Panzer ID flag. So, like, what's with that? Why isn't a swastika? Well, there's a bunch of theories about. As a matter of fact, for a long time, there were a bunch of people who didn't believe in these. Now, people who are as old as I am and have been around doing this long enough, we've gotten enough of these right out of veterans' duffel bags and footlockers to know that they did exist during World War II. Why aren't there a lot of pictures to show it? I don't know. Ask the dead Nazis. But here's what I think. I think Hitler didn't like these because they weren't Nazi enough. These were used on the backs of tanks, and so that when their air support was flying, they could basically identify the friendlies from the enemies. But I think Hitler might have not liked these all that much because they weren't so Nazi. It uses the bar cross. That's actually what Balkan means. Bar. It has nothing to do with actually the bulk lens, which is different. But this is the Balkan cross. And you do see this on the German vehicles and things like that, so it makes sense. Also, the other characteristics of a vehicle identification flag, they're one-sided, because obviously the tank knows whose it is, and they've got grommets in the corners, not some ties or loops for a pole or anything like that. So, kind of a rare and displayable, arguably, banner. So that was cool to get it. Also got in a World War I gas rattle for the gas attacks that would happen. Not the kind of thing that happens in the hotel rooms at the Louisville show. But these were for in the trenches. And it actually is really loud, so I'm just going to do this once. Okay, that's enough. But in the event of a gas attack, guys would spin this thing around, alerting everybody else to get your gas mask on, because you only had a few seconds before bad stuff happened. Also in the World War I realm, we got in a early 75 millimeter shell. The interesting thing about this one is the projectile has actually been fired. You can tell that because of the grooves that were cut in by the barrel of the cannon as the round left the barrel. It also has the timer fuse on it. Always nice and empty. Whenever you're dealing with ordnance, always assume everything is live until proven otherwise. Ordnance is dangerous stuff. It was designed to kill, it was designed to destroy, and it can be just as functional today as it was 100 years ago. So just if somebody has something, always assume it's live and then figure out that it's not live. And if you can't figure it out yourself, get some help. Because there is no artifact that is worth being blown up over. Okay, also got in from a little later era. This is an oxygen mask for the fighter pilots. 1950s era, I believe. So that's cool. These always make great displays when coupled with a flight helmet. We don't see a lot of them. We also got in a great big box of flags, all kinds of various flags, mostly US flags, mostly some newer stuff, but there was a couple other interesting ones in there as well. We got a nice, kind of a heavyweight British Union Jack with the gold fringe, which is something that we don't often see here. Beautiful rayon. Nice heavyweight material. We also got in a Canadian flag of similar construction in that box of flags. And then we got in, admittedly I don't know what this is, could be some yachting flag, I don't know. Obviously Arabic. It was made in Kuwait. It's got a Kuwaiti tag on it. So whatever, could be some kind of ship's transportation thing, some kind of shipping line, I don't know. I'm actually hoping to ask some of our Arabic students at the college if they can translate it for me. So, kind of neat, whatever it is. Also a lot of other US 50 star flags, 48 star flags, just a real variety of stuff in the box. It actually kind of, there was no rhyme or reason. We also got in some uniforms. Nice Marine Corps. Unfortunately no a unit patch, but nice decked out China Marine. Occupation of Japan, so it could have been a 6th Marine. Was probably in supply. Oh, this is just a nice standard World War II 4-pocket sergeant's tunics. No big shakes, but I'm always happy to get real World War II uniforms. When you think about it, it's like, 75 years, more than 75 years. So that some of this stuff still exists is amazing. Here's an officer's tunic. Again, transportation. Served in Europe. Just a nice officer's tunic. We got some other tunics. One of the other things that I got that is going in my collection is really kind of cool in the uniform realm, and it's actually it's a reproduction uniform, but this was actually used, and helmet, this was actually used in a well-known recent movie about a tank that I can't mention its name, or one of its stars, who actually was dating Jennifer Aniston. Okay, so whether you love the movie, hate the movie, you have to admit the costumes were freaking awesome. Very accurate, very cool looking. Unbelievable. So this is actually going up on a mannequin here in the store for display. I love how they aged it. You know, it's actually got the mud still on it. Just very cool. And then I got the mud on me. All right. I know we got more stuff in. We actually bought a whole truckload of like Vietnamese stuff and modern stuff and gear and bags and pouches, and it took like 6 cartloads to get it in. And some point we'll do a surplus show or something for all the big and heavy stuff. But for now, hey, that's some of the new stuff that we just got in at the Military Collectible Shop. So I hope you enjoyed seeing it. As always, email us, drop us a line. Remember to subscribe so you get more of these, because we're going to try to make more as we can. If there's ever anything you want to learn about, let us know. We're doing a series called Military 101, where we talk about particular things in more detail. As a good friend of mine told me, we now know more and more about less and less. Okay, so be well, everybody. Stay safe. There's still a lot of crap going on out there. So take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. We hope to see you soon. Drop us a line. I'm Jerry. This is the Military Collectible Shop. And now you know what's new at the Military Collectible Shop. See ya.